All right, it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting of the City Advisory Board September meeting. First, let me welcome one of our new members, and this is Chris McGuire. He's not with us last time, but he is here, and he's all straight on meetings. We're all straight on meetings, and he will be with us for now. So, welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
If you haven't met everybody, please introduce yourself before we leave.
I think
All right, do we have any citizens' comments?
I do not have any that was turned in.
All right, we'll move on to our agenda. Our agenda items, C1, consider approval of minutes for the August 8th, 2024 meeting and take appropriate action. You all have a chance to approve the minutes. Anybody see any errors, corrections, anything that we need to update or correct? Nothing? None? We want to make a motion to approve? Make a motion to approve. Questions been made and seconded to approve the meeting, the minutes of this meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we will move on to C2, a 2025 budget update. The background on this is staff will discuss with the board items in the proposed next fiscal year budget that will directly affect recreation, facilities, and services. The proposed budget includes some park and recreation facility changes and the reduction in some special events. These changes emphasize the need to provide services at residents' highest priority times while also continuing to be limited city
You
resources.
gotta keep that on the.
You can't hear.
That's to say.
Walking in the hall.
Becky?
I'll get this
Oh,
one, okay? A lot of you are aware the council had a special call meeting last Friday. And, they decided to put items back like hour reductions that they initially had in the budget. So as far as I know, all the senior center hours, what we're taking the budget is the rec center, senior center, branch connection hours are all going to stay as they are currently. We are going to make some reductions to library hours that stayed on the items for reduction. Other than that, we are going to put Halloween in the park funding back. That'll be back in next year as well. So I think for the most part, we are going to move forward, still reducing some of the quantity of events that were on the plate initially, but I think it was a good compromise that council looked at, and I'm thinking some of you may have had some discussions with council as well, which I think really helped. I know Park Board did reach out to quite a few council, and so I think what I actually had a meeting with David Jones, who's Park Board Chair, earlier this week, and he was at the meeting last week and on Tuesday, and he was very happy that he felt council was listening to what the residents wanted, and there was some feedback from citizens. So I think so everything basically that was taken away, pretty much almost all got put back for the most part, at least the operational hours. So we'll answer any questions you guys all have. It was we didn't have time when we were putting the agenda together, we kind of just cut and pasted from the last one, but knowing that Friday might have some changes. So just getting you all updated. If there's any questions, I'll be happy.
So basically, the only special events that got put back or into the events for the year was the Halloween in the park. Everything else is gone. Didn't drive live, the family nights, everything else is gone.
So that'll actually put a fall event, which will be good for us because we were focusing on 3 larger events. Of course, we still have Veterans Day and some of the smaller facility events, but when it comes to the larger events, we now have one. So we'll have multicultural in the spring, 4th of July in the summer. Halloween will be our fall event, and then we'll have Christmas, of course. So that'll be, this fall and bluegrass, like it is this year, will not be next year. It's going to be a different event. So that helps staff because now we don't it would have been very difficult for staff to turn around Halloween this year with bluegrass at the same time. There's too much going on. So it's gonna help us to have it next year, and we'll have plenty of time to plan and do it. So.
Let me ask you this too, with the pickleball tournament in November, does your department have any, is that just a special project or events and tourism event, or are you all?
It's pretty
involved
much
in
a
that?
tourism event. We help when we need to. I know we try to do, especially there's a lot of traffic along Brookhaven Club Drive and things like that. So I know we're cognizant trying to, make that stay looking really well for the tournament, things like that. And,
There's a welcome tent that tourism puts on, and usually the rec center staff will stop by.
I just didn't know how involved your department was in that. All right, any other questions?
So when you say holiday in the park next year, Halloween in the park, so you're talking next fiscal year or next fiscal?
the next year, so they're gonna put the funding in
Because that's
now for 2025. So,
So 2024 got canceled last year.
well, what we ended up happening is, so there was as we were working through the budget this summer, there was like a kind of a time period where we really needed to know if we were gonna do it. And we got past almost the end of summer, well, there was a kind of a point of no return. You got to start putting deposits and things down way early for that event. So we were under the impression we were not going to do that event. And so we moved a different direction. And so, and it's kind of one of those events too, that kind of slides between budgets as well. So, kind of like bluegrass in that, you do some things this budget year and you pay for the rest of it the next year. So we knew we weren't going to have funding and the next year, which is October 1st, and Halloween's at the end of the month. If we knew that funding was going to go away, we couldn't plan on the event. So we kind of had a point where we could put deposits, but if we didn't have the money, we couldn't pay for the rest of the event. So we had to make a decision just to not plan on it based on council's directive as we were moving through the budget.
And I can piggyback off that, Robert. So the plan for our events, including family nights, the Denton Drive Live, and Halloween in the Park, was not to do away with them entirely and forever. It was more of a pause. Let's get community feedback. Let's get, we got to include them in town hall meetings, posts, social media posts, how we can get the word out to see what is it the community is looking for. And so it was a pause for one fiscal year, but the plan has always been to come back. And because we do have an events team, and then we do have our different facilities that assist with our special events. And so we basically, now the direction is we will do some type of a Halloween event. It won't be probably Halloween in the Park. It'll probably be labeled something different that the community wants. And then we plan to kind of beef it up, make it even bigger than what we used to do with Halloween in the Park. A lot bigger, actually. Pretty excited for what the team's already kind of got on the agenda to propose to the residents. And then for our family nights and Denton Drive Lives, we want to bring that back. And we have some kind of fun names, but again, we want to leave that to the residents to come up with names for those. But that is something that we would like to propose in the next fiscal year. And so then we can go to council and say, we need X amount of dollars. This is community feedback. This is what the community wants. It may not look and feel like Denton Drive Live or like family night in the park, but maybe it's family night in the meadow or something, whatever the residents are looking for. But, we do hear the residents and we hear they're wanting more things for the littles. And so, normally we'll do face painting and, balloon art and different things, but the residents are wanting more yard games, more, everyone can kind of get in and play and have fun, or maybe it's a movie night. And so we want to just get community feedback because what we've been doing, we've always been doing. So it's just a pause, but not a forever. Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. We're going to move on and go to item C3, review events and activities. This agenda item allows board members to discuss and give feedback on any activities or events attended and review the upcoming calendar. Anybody do anything fun? No? It's in the city? I went to Firehouse Theater and saw, what did I see? Oh, Margaritaville. It's amazing what they can do with the amount of stage that they don't have and choreography and music and everything. And they actually had a live band playing all the music. Quite a fun event. Anybody else? I think the next one's gonna be, well, Peter Pan Jr., but then Love and Murder or something about married men or something. I don't know. Check your local listing. All right, we'll go ahead and review the events and activities.
So with all of our programs, we've returned in-house here to the Community Recreation Center, but we are also utilizing the Aquatic Center, Mansky Library, venue 1842, and the First Baptist Church, which October will be the last time we program out of the First Baptist Church. So here at the Rec Center on Tuesdays, we have our Zumba Gold. Mondays are posture renewal. Tuesdays and Thursdays are mindful yoga, balanced bodies. Mondays and Wednesdays are Tai Chi. Wednesdays and Fridays are power walking. And then on September 16th, we will have Terry and friends playing for the mixer program over at venue 1842. Monday, we had our breakfast. Saturday is a big night for us, which is our game night. And then we have our photo club meeting on the 25th. Monday nights, our fly time group is meeting. Our Texas Hold'em is on the 19th. Book club movie is on the 16th, and then we have our Tuesday trivia on the 24th. And then currently, at the Mansky Library, we're doing Computer Basics 2. And we have Cruising Cuisine on the 26th. And then over at the Aquatic Center, we had our advanced greeting cards on the 10th. And then, so this is something new, but I kind of see what y'all did. So our futuristic trips, what we kind of have scheduled. The month of October is Canton Trade Days. November is Dallas Music Hall for a magical Christmas. December will be Toasties for local cuisine lunch. January is going to be the Hayden Carter Museum. February is another Cruising Cuisine for CJ's Grill. And March we'll go to the casino. And April to Cruising Cuisine. Cruising Lunch Connection. May is another local Cruising Lunch Connection. July, we'll do another baseball game. And then August, another Cruising Cuisine. And then September, Choctaw. And then in October, which will be 25, State Fair. And so for our recreation center, our Monday weekday activities, we have our team and fun, chair volleyball, open rec, open mahjong, take abilities, duplicate bridge. Tuesdays, we have our high-low line dancing, dulcimers, and open rec. Wednesdays are improver line dancing, open rec, and mahjong. Thursday, fun chair volleyball, open rec, quilting. And Fridays, quilting, party bridge, and fun chair volleyball. So we're on the aquatics. On Mondays, we have an open art group and take abilities. And we have Fridays in Elective History, and Mansky Library on Monday evenings is our craft group.
How can you have thinkabilities twice?
I think one of the shared moments, the only thinkabilities. I think Mondays on the rec center is supposed to be shared. So,
How do you transport the people on these trips?
sure.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Any questions about any of the events?
I did think of a couple of events that I didn't attend. The cooking club, we had 20 people at the cooking club this month, which is the largest crowd we've had at the cooking club in years. And
The best meatloaf in the world.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't know where you heard that. But yes, and, anyway, our next cooking club in October is gonna be, Polish food. And, our chair will be demonstrating how to make,
So what did you have this month?
we had meatloaf.
Oh, yeah.
I demonstrated how to make meatloaf and it turned out really well. We had a really good turnout. And it was a real good time. And also, I participate up in rec on almost a daily basis, which is from 1 to 5, where we have open play. We play 42. They also have, they play, some of the ladies play Mexican train. 3 queens, 5 queens or something like that. Was there 5 crowns? And there's other different that we have in rec. So if you ever want to come play,
What is thinkabilities?
Thinkabilities is,
Again.
they
Is
have.
it a real normal
Joyce,
game?
Joyce, yeah, I'll have to explain it to her.
It's just puzzles that you figure out. Oh, puzzles, okay,
Yeah, that's something that you like, I know.
yeah,
They
I
do
love puzzles.
word puzzles and things like that.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
So does everybody do the same puzzle or everybody has their own? We do the same puzzle. We have our own puzzles and during the week, we figure out what the answers are, and then when we join together as a group, give the answers.
Any other questions about activity? Let's move on to, item C4, discuss the game night event and take appropriate action. This agenda item is to discuss the Branch Connection game night event. Staff is confirming game night date, day, time, location, and genre. This agenda item allows the Senior Advisory Board to discuss and provide direction on all aspects needed for game night. It will remain an agenda item until the conclusion of the game night event. This item will also allow an opportunity to discuss the new fiscal year game night event and its dates, as well as whether it would evolve into a series of multiple social events versus the current one big event.
Okay, so game night is around the corner. It's this Saturday from 5 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. And we will have 2 caricatures, a photo booth, a DJ. We'll have Patsy Cline and Elvis Presley. We'll have the 2 famous actors from Grease. And our food is set to be served at 5 p.m. in this room.
Five?
At 5 p.m. Our casino will open at 5:30. We will have the next 3 rooms available for seating to eat at. There will be a bar outside of this door hosted by Nueva Leon. And at the end of the hall, there will be bingo. Inside the casino, there will be a roulette table, there will be blackjack, and there will be poker. And on everybody's way out, they can get a gift bag, and it's swag items that we put together into a gift bag with the chance to win a gift card. There are about 90 gift cards and 300 bags. So you have a good chance of winning there. We will have 10 raffles for items in basket. And then we'll have 2 raffles for cash or grand prize. One for $500 and one for $250 cash grand prize. And you have to be present to win. And you have to, only one person, or only a person can only get 1 swag bag on their way out.
So it's a husband and wife, do they just get one per family,
One per seat.
one per person?
Are there tickets for the raffle? I mean.
Yes, so your game night ticket that gets you in the door, you will have everybody write their name on the back of the ticket. And that ticket will go into a tumbler at the end, and Debbie will announce who won $500 or $250.
And the rest of those are on when they change in their casino chips. We're actually wrapping to, those are matching numbers to them. So those are done a little bit different versus the grand prize is just your entry ticket.
So when they enter, they need to make sure they have their, has that been advertised to individuals that they need to put their name on them?
Well, when we collect them,
Yeah.
because we have to collect them, we have in our,
And
and so
they-
they don't.
Oh, they know.
Minnie,
Who's gonna call the bingo? Is that girl gonna come back that was there last year?
so hopefully, you, Mary, will help. But also, I have Rosa coming for now.
Rosa's coming again. She's very good.
And then, I have a new staff member, Maggie, who will help. And another staff member that will help, Patty.
So you have job assignments?
I do, but they're still changing as we speak. So if you have a question about your job, I can fill you in. And then, I'll have this available on Saturday at 4 PM when you show up.
Nothing hard.
So let's talk about decorating.
Okay, so decorating, I am Jessica, on Friday, we are not gonna be able to decorate in these rooms, is that correct? We can decorate, okay, so on Fridays, we can decorate in these rooms and in the gym.
There's
Yes,
just
so-
one room where there's a recreation program here inside out. Which room is it?
I guess the last one.
So the mesquite room.
Actually.
There may have been low enrollment, so if they canceled it, then yes, you guys are free for all. If there is a kids' night out, I would recommend maybe setting that up later in the evening, but if you wanted to wait until Saturday for that room, you can, but the rest of the facility, the lobby, the hallways and the gymnasium, you guys can set up as you'd like.
As far as the setup, my staff as best we can, tables and chairs in the rooms available, and then the decoration part goes on top of it. The vendors the day of, they're all showing up, 4:30 for Nuevo, I think 3:30 for the food. So all the different vendors have time of the day. And then once we're done, for us, it's just the decoration break down and then the tables and chairs up, and then the vendors take their stuff. So it's a little bit different from last year because we didn't have the whole building decked out, so I think we'll probably be a lot faster. And we will have the ROTC kids with us for a little bit for the night as well. It's normally like bingo out one of the rooms, once everybody's done eating, we'll have the ROTC kids break down those empty rooms. And so that's already taken care of.
So we check in at 4
Be here at 4.
or early.
Yes,
Yeah,
y'all
help
eat, y'all
decorate.
eat before gets to eat.
Beg your pardon?
Y'all eat before everyone else gets to eat. Before we open the door, y'all will eat your dinner.
Oh,
4 to 10.
And then what time do you want to start setting up? I mean, I know I've got to help Michelle do baskets, but for those who can come and help decorate,
9
what
a.m.
time?
on Friday.
On Friday
9 a.m. on Friday.
and Saturday?
And
We'll see how
Saturday,
short we are.
yeah, let's see.
Okay.
how-
The goal is to be completely done with decor by 3 PM on Friday. So that way everyone can just show up on Saturday, 4 o'clock, eat their dinner, and then get ready to rock and roll. And I'll have a team of staff also coming in to assist with any setup, making of the basket, and anything else y'all need.
Any questions?
The bingo, what are the prizes for those individuals, and do they just get one bingo? Do they get multiple?
So the bingo, they don't get a prize when they win, they get additional raffle tickets to put in. the book. So I think with the funny money that they buy, I think that buys cards.
Yeah.
$500 buys 3 cards, $1,000 buys 6 cards, and the maximum they can buy is 6.
Anything else? Oh, our t-shirts?
T-shirts are here and before you leave today,
Try it on.
make sure
You like.
you like it. Yeah.
Too bad it didn't.
If you don't,
Yeah, really. I went from medium to
Did you check the Bluebees on the casserole dish?
Yeah, we will have a vegetable that isn't a carb that you requested. We fixed that.
So you fix that. We're not gonna have two starches.
No,
It's roasted vegetables.
it's roasted
Roasted,
vegetable.
no casserole, no breadcrumbs, no.
Okay.
Any other questions? Martin,
So we meet tomorrow morning at 9.
if you are available, yes, perfect. Many people come, more hands. More.
We have everything. Roll.
Any other
can you see
questions?
the banner?
Yeah.
Can you see the banner and have a little bit of explanation?
Tickets should we sell?
I don't know how many we sold today, but as of this morning, we had 50 left.
And how much money did we raise in games and cash and prizes, donations?
Y'all raised $10,000.
So if somebody's wanting to purchase, that's the door.
Somebody wanted to what?
Purchase that?
No, they won't.
They will not.
So this is our, we promised our diamond sponsors that they would get a banner. And the diamond sponsor donated. This, I want it to hang over the kids' sign, right, we want.
Are you talking about where the TV is at?
Mhm.
Because we have a backdrop going. You could hang that as soon as you walk in above the rail. That's the first thing they see.
Oh, yeah.
Can I understand? You talk about
Anyway, it's gonna be brought up there forever.
mine. I don't know.
Very nice.
We had to get it.
Very
That was my guinea pig. Sing.
Now we have. Do we have time?
All right, any other questions?
Just that people are starting to arrive at 9 on Friday to Hill. Is that up, right? And then when will everything be finished?
In
But
terms of-
9 is the start time. What is the reason I ask is I'm not a morning person.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll be here. I mean, if you can come get some time later on, yeah, absolutely.
We'll be here until 3 on Friday.
Till 3, okay. Thank you. Okay, if I can, I'll come help.
All right, thank you. Anything else? Any other questions? No?
Any ticket purchases should be done online. Like today.
Not online, but in person.
They can purchase in person.
That's the only way they can purchase.
Oh,
Just not the day of,
Online, they-
not the day of.
no, not the day.
because the building closes at 5. When we're closed at 5, all of our tellers are put up. We can break it out. My only concern is if we're busy doing that, to stop and have a staff member do transactions. We can visit it. I'm not closed-minded to it, but normally we don't do transactions because they're just there for the event. So now we do that, we have to take in the money, we have to do the reports, we have to do the deposit, and that staff member has now been taken off whatever their job is.
Okay, but they can't do it online.
No, you have to have a physical ticket.
Purchase a ticket.
Because when you buy it, you get the physical ticket.
But you can't do like a enrollment at like, oh, yeah.
Because we did Aphrodite Daughter Dance, we allow them to purchase online, or they can give us a phone call, or they can come in person. And then we just hold the tickets at will call. So then, yeah, we do have a designated person with a clipboard and their ticket if they want to keep it for memory, or we just check them off the list.
Yeah, so
They can call in and purchase a ticket. That's not a problem. They just can't do it online. They can call in and like, hey, I want to buy 2 tickets.
we can do the
We can do the
transaction.
transaction. That's not a problem.
Yeah. And then have a- All right, so they can do it ahead of time. If they call.
When do we get our assignments? We get those on Saturday?
Jennifer's still working on it. Well, you're gonna help with bingo. I can already tell you
Okay.
that.
All right. You said we're gonna have those 2 artists again?
Yes.
They were really good.
All right.
Any other questions?
Great job of $10,000. Yeah.
Really good. One person I would see 10 times and never got any money. That was.
Just because you
She
want.
said, I'll call you on Friday, the last one. Yeah.
Sorry. That's.
But
All right, if there are no other questions, and Jennifer will be around after the meeting in case something pops up. While we're sitting here finished tonight. All right, we're gonna move on to C5, receive an update from all appointed subcommittees. And the agenda item allows board members to report, discuss, and exchange information regarding any updates from the Spotlight Memorial Century Veteran event or renovation.
I guess I'm on 2 different committees, but I guess I'll talk about the Veterans Day Committee first. So Veterans Day is falling into line. We have a guest speaker. This Lieutenant Colonel Alan West will be our guest speaker this year. And we have the same brass band, I believe, that we had last year. We'll be performing, and we're we'll get the Rotary Club back to do our hot dogs for us. They've done it for many, many years. They didn't do it last year. We had a catering service and it didn't work out so well. But this year, it's going to look a lot better because we're going to have the Rotary Club here to do it for us. And I expect that they're going to do hot dogs like we've always done. It's going to be a great event. And I don't know what else to tell you right now.
It's going to be here.
And it will be here in the rec center, and it will be on Veterans Day, November the 11th. And the start time is 10:30. Also, we have one of our sponsors this year, North Dallas Funeral Home, is going to sponsor us. They're going to give us a little flag, lapel pins, and they'll also be providing poppies, which is something that we missed the last few years.
I love the pop.
Very important.
So do you need any help with that? Are you okay? So coffee passer outers and, you know, just help with anything or you still?
Well, when Veterans Day does come, as we've done in the past, the senior advisory board.
All right.
As we always have.
You give it to like the coins also.
We are going to have memorable memorabilia coins. This will be the 3rd year that we've given out coins. They're a big hit, and we'll also have. We're on schedule to have the hats again this year. The hats were real successful last year. We ran out of hats. We didn't have enough hats. So we're doing hats again this year. And,
What kind of hats?
Baseball.
Yeah.
baseball cap. Yeah, baseball cap.
Oh, baseball cap.
Like we had last year.
All right, thank you. Any other questions about that? So he'll keep us posted if he needs. And if he needs help.
How late is it?
It usually starts at 10:30 over by about 11:30. Well, but then we start Yeah, and then the food is about 11:30, so go on.
Any other questions about that? Thank you. I have no spotlight committee, and I believe we have a century person and no memorial. Renovation?
Renovation, one of the most important things that we have now is our chairs.
Can I just say something real quick? So as Jackie gets the chairs out, Matt was instrumental in coming out and kind of letting us know about the chairs we took to council the other day. And I'll take the brunt of, we were moving forward. There was some communication on what kind of chairs. So we're going to straighten that out and have the board be able to provide us some direction. I want Jackie to go through kind of the whole iteration of where we started and kind of where we're at. And then I think Jessica and Jackie, we can kind of help fill in any gaps.
So for the board members that are new, I know y'all weren't a part of the process, but for the board members that were here, if you remember, was it a year ago, I think? A year ago, we were in this room. We went over to the finishes, right? Then we brought the chairs up, right? And we said, here's this chair, here's this chair. Everybody sat in it. We talked about the fabric that's on this. It has that, it's either a Hero or a Hercules thread, which makes it resistant to wipe off. When asking the board, which was their preference, we went with this one because of the hard back, not the double cloth stitching, you know. And then I think we went back again and talked about colors, and I think it was decided that navy blue was the color. And so we had all that packaged up, ready to go. This was the chair style that we were gonna go with. This was just for the ballroom, because if y'all remember, we went through the FF&E packets, which was proposal 1 and proposal 2, and we went through that, knowing that the rooms had different furniture and that these were just the main ballroom chairs to get 250 of them. And so that's what we moved forward with. That's the information that we put forward. And then once we got it to that level, it was readdressed by council to go a different direction.
So at that point, council direction was, because the expense of these chairs, what are some other options? So we looked at some other options, and I think when we were looking at options, we came up with these 2 options. And for what we had thought is that this was the better option because it was easier to maintain. So, and that's kind of what we went with. They're both from Uline, which is a company that we use quite a bit. There is a different expense to both of these. We purchased these. Jessica was able to get these to where we can see what these chairs are. This chair is similar to what council is in the council chamber, which is, a lot of you saw that the other day. So, but this is the chair we took. It was more in cost in line, because I believe these were what, $250, $300 a chair, a price range. This was about 110 or so.
That was the one that came in at 77,000.
Correct. So this was, when we first took these to council, it was about 77,000 with delivery, installation and all that. And we had a budget of 80,000 for these chairs. So council thought that was too much. So we came back, these priced out at about 20,000, with installation it'd be about 25. So these chairs that are very, very similar to the ones originally looked at, that have the softer padded seat with the hard back, well, kind of the hard frame back. It's got the mesh on it. These are about what, $150 a chair? About $150 a chair. So a little more than this one. These are about a little over 100. So it's about $20, $30 more, but well under the original chair. So I think these chairs are.
You're looking at about 35,000 with assembly for the left-hand side. The right-hand side, you're looking at about 25.
Mm-hmm. So 25 is what we took to council earlier this week. And so really what we're here today is just for the board. And really what I want to reiterate, and I think this was brought up too, and even when we took all the other furniture, the choice is really for the boards in general, just to provide council with some direction. So, because we eventually will take the purchase back to count, like this would go back, this is going to go back to council. it was originally gonna go to, it originally went to council because it was over $50,000. Anything we buy, even if it's an approved budgeted item, over 50,000, we go back to council for them to approve the purchase. That's why we took these chairs the first time. Even though the newer chairs we took the other day were under the 50,000, we were trying to close that loop with council because we wanted to show them what we brought back. So we met for council, we met the price, but we didn't meet what you guys really wanted, what you had preferred. So this is what we're gonna bring back to council, this chair, with the feedback, and I'm hoping, and we can get kind of your feedback here in a little bit, but this is what we would propose if the board's amenable and was to move forward with some direction to council to buy these chairs. And really, I think we'll even look internally to see if we can even save money on the assembly and stuff, because I've started just discussing, we'll have the option either way. We'll probably take it where we might, because we're well with under budget, we have the money to have someone assemble it, but depending on when we get the chairs, how quick we can get them, we're not gonna need them until we move into the building. So what we might be able to do is just purchase the chairs, store them, and I might be able to have maintenance staff be able to put these together over the course of the winter. So we'll look at that. So right now I've got this slated to go back in November. If the board is okay, given the direction to get these chairs. So I think we have one council meeting November 12th. So,
I did get, for the left-hand side, we will get 200 just like that, and then 50 with arms. And then I ordered, you can only stack 5 per dolly, so I ordered about 63 parts
We have.
that will work with this chair on the left.
I didn't go grab it. It's the black square. They're usually just.
Oh,
we'll just test to make sure, if we have dollies that match, we might be able to take that off. We'll just make sure.
That's what we have done with that one too.
Okay.
We reduced how many dollars we requested because we have that. We don't have any chairs now. We have stacks of dollars.
Yes.
So black is the color option?
There's not a lot of color options, I don't think, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, black's pretty, that's the only difference. This was the original chair. You could have more custom colors. And the structure of this original chair, it is a better chair, but it's way more expensive. So, I mean, durability, this is a lot better chair. We can get custom color. There's a lot of things that come with this chair where the other one, you don't have that. I will say the other furniture that you've all looked at is going to be very tuned to each of the spaces, because we've had the furniture and the architecture kind of both go together. It's black, but I think it's generic enough. It should go well with whatever the ballroom improvements are. This was gonna be what, a navy blue?
Navy blues with the color.
So it was gonna be darker anyway, so I think we'll be okay.
Having been through this once before, in 2017, when we ordered the chairs, that I think maybe just the few of us were even there at that time. I realized how important chairs are. I never really gave that much of a thought before, but I appreciate you going back and looking. Yeah, I think we're gonna be a lot happier with the black chairs, the ones on our right. And
Actually, we sat in this one today and then the other two in the back, and this one, you want to come?
Yeah.
And we're giving to, I don't know if it's
it's
about
even.
that.
even
So,
better
and
than
just a little-
chairs.
Food for thought, like on the stash engine, something that's, transparent, that we've talked about it. The concern with this one, again, it's the stitching right here. So when we're stacking, rub, this is eventually, because this chair is not as expensive as that chair. So what does that mean? It's not, the quality is different. So how much wear and tear? The other thing that Robert talked about was, we understand that this is a cloth cushion. This doesn't have the same thread that this one does. We had talked about maybe a Scotch Guard thing, because there are incidents throughout the years where stuff happens in them.
Right.
But I think that there's a way that we can address that, whether it's Scotch Guard or whatever the case, to help provide longevity with that soft cloth cushion.
That one doesn't come with a leather cushion.
Thank goodness.
so this is the leather version of that chair.
It's fine. I thought it was fine.
Sorry, this is the
I call
vinyl, yeah,
But if you
leather.
look at some of the vinyl chairs, for instance, that you've had in the office at the Branch Connection, You can see how
I said it,
the-
yes.
it runs off too, and it's starting to flake off and.
So that, again, that's another thing, when you're talking about Uline, these are their standard as is. With the other chairs that we had, they're very custom, so where Mary asked, you can get that, and why can't you add kind of that pleather bottom to that, but that's not how Uline operates, we don't have that luxury to
This
make
is,
some.
the Uline products are off the shelf. They're coming out, basically as is. There's no customization to them. I will say too, though, also moving forward, this is a kind of chair, legs break, pad gets torn. They're very affordable. I mean, you're talking $150. What's the shipping? I mean, it's like very cheap.
$258.
So we have a big event, we have casino night, we damage 2 or 3 chairs, we can get these replaced within our budget and we keep the thing moving. And so I think, and at some point we will have to replace all of them, but for the small wear and tear type issues, I think those are, not that you couldn't with these, but these are just these would be one you kind of put to the side. When we get enough of them, then we just replace them all, which is kind of what we had done with this. I think with those, we can kind of just keep up with whatever damage occurs and we can just replace them as we need them.
Yeah, and with our rentals that we do, I mean, you wanna offer them something that's comfortable. You just wanna like try and cover every base, and I know it's hard to do that, but like I said, this one pretty dang good. And if you've not had a chance to sit in these two to compare, just so we make sure that everybody's had an opportunity to weigh in and give their opinion.
And then also on, is there any more questions on the chairs? Before I give
Is that vinyl? Or-
Go check it out.
I thought, it might be
They say vinyl, the sign said vinyl.
fine.
Oh, it's vinyl. Well, I said on them, they're both.
Well, one's hard and one's cushion.
Well, that was not too hard for me.
Yes.
Maybe I have a softer bottom.
It didn't say.
Go check it out. Check it out.
I don't know, we'll just check this out. You're a bigger free.
Check it out.
So just a couple more updates on the renovation. I think by next week, we'll have some update pictures online. But I did go over there yesterday, with the Ruddick team. They had demoed and gutted the offices, the kitchen and the back storeroom was in the process of being gutted and the bathrooms being done. So they've already started phase 2 demo, while also finishing up the rest of phase 1. So phase 1, they're trying to wrap up. I know they sent an email out. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but they had talked about wrapping up phase 1, going through the punch list. So that'll be coming down the line. But as far as phase 2, where they're at, demo has started, and then I think mid-September is when the anticipation for the new roof will be going on. So,
Okay, on this chair, my feet touch the floor.
we'll get
But on
all,
this chair, they do not touch the floor. It's a little higher,
That is,
and I'm 5'4". On this one, if I lean back, I have to do it with my tippy toe. My feet do not touch the floor. And I've got big feet, but my toes are touch.
How does it feel to sit in?
Huh?
How does it feel to sit in?
It feels good, but you really can't put your feet on the floor. Have you tried it? You have? Will your feet go on the floor? Oh, okay. But they do in this, but that's okay, you can always get ready like you want to dance with somebody. You can lean forward like you're ready to go. So, it's very comfortable.
So it comes
That's the, but that's the only thing. The feet.
We'll solve the leg. No.
your feet.
What'd you say?
I said, we'll solve the leg, so.
Mary's chair. Mary's chair. Thank you, Mary.
For a donation, you can have.
So,
Boy, that's a lot better price. You all did really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna move on to C6, discuss agenda items for the future senior advisory board meetings, decided to the agenda so that board members could recommend topics to be discussed at future meeting. No topics were submitted at the time of this report. Anybody have anything that they would like to see on the agenda for next month?
I have two that we'll have to put on there. One is going to be, even though our game night is concluded, we'll add that back on, do a wrap up, and then start talking about the new fiscal year directive on game night. As, I don't know, at the beginning of last year, we had discussed about breaking it into the series. And again, if we don't talk about it now, as we roll into the new fiscal year, we're gonna miss opportunities to figure all that out. The second part is the year in review. We'll be going, the chair will be presenting in front of council, senior advisory board's year in review in November. So that means we will present the slide to the senior advisory board in October for an overview and edits before it's presented to the council, because that happens before our November meeting. So that'll be our shot to get that done. So those two items will be on the agenda.
So you're taking the year in reviews that only November council meeting?
So
Is
what-
current study session, is that usually when it is?
It usually.
Yeah, that's right, it is. But so the way but now what we do is we'll put it together and we present it at the next available board meeting here before it goes to council. So that way there's input, edits, and stuff like that. Because before we would just do it and then the chair would just present it. And then afterwards, we would talk about it at our November meeting. And so they wanted to switch that around to where the board had a chance to look at it, before it went to council.
So your council meeting is gonna be the 12th.
Correct.
So,
And so our standard meeting is on the 10th.
so we're gonna be,
At the 10th, it'll just be edits. That's it. It'll be generated, like,
you'll have to get it on the agenda.
that's 4 weeks. 4 weeks at a time.
Everything's like 2 months out.
Well, I mean,
We can generate and put a placeholder,
But
but
I-
I just drop.
You have the calendar, so just go off the calendar.
yeah, we'll just have to look at that. Let's see.
I thought 4 weeks. I know. it was two.
And then
Okay, we'll figure it out.
you
Okay.
again.
Well, that's why I was wondering if we need to actually look at it at your October meeting. That way it's good to go, your presentation, and then that way we'll be on time for.
We are gonna present.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
We are gonna present it at October.
Oh, I thought you said
No.
November.
We presented it to council in November, but when we have a meeting, it's already after.
But you're talking about it in October.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just in case there's some.
Yeah.
I was like, well, how are you gonna do it the 10th and 12th? Got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
In October.
perfect. Got it.
Anything else, Jackie?
that's it.
All right, we'll move on to C7, the Senior Advisory Board and City Council update calendar. Below is City Council update dates may change and are subject to adjustment. This includes a meeting schedule for the year, council presentation dates, and a deadline for completing annual training. This will allow for excellent communication by all, foster forethought and planning, ensure that training is completed, and ensure that presentations are submitted to the director and council in a timely manner.
So for October, any packet additions, please get to me by the 30th. We'll have our meeting on the 10th, and then just a reminder, on the 10th is when we will review the council presentation. And then in November, the packet additions will be on the 30th, and then we do our council update year review on the 12th at City Hall, and then on the 14th at 1 p.m. is our Senior Advisory Board meeting here at the Recreation Center. And then December is the one where we switch it around for the holiday. So our meeting will be here at 11:30, and then after the meeting, we'll have our holiday lunch at 12 p.m. And then once I get the January, February calendars for those meetings, I'll drop those and update those on our council, or our calendar review.
So when do they think maybe we'll be in the building by February?
We're just saying 2025,
Okay.
because 2025 is.
How's it look?
We'll for sure be in there.
We'll be in there. mean, they're, right now, they're in demo phase. Phase one, they're finishing up. So, but it's coming along.
I thought you said demo.
So do they get penalized the longer it takes them?
I think so, but there has to be like. So if they say it's gonna take so much and they get close to that window and it's not happening, those are conversations that people have to make sure that it's, I don't think excused, but acknowledged and reasoned.
They have 6 months from the notice to proceed, which was a couple weeks ago, phase two. So we're looking at probably March sometime, they're supposed to be done. But then we have to think about move-in and all those things. So we gotta make sure we're in good shape before you all move back in. So, I'm probably looking at April-ish, maybe, maybe earlier, just depends. I mean, if they get moving earlier and things get finished. Jackie did mention that we are getting a new roof that's going on in a couple of weeks as well. I think there's also some AC units they gotta replace, so those will be done. So there's a lot happening. We are gonna also look at landscape out there this winter. So when we open it back up, fresh landscape, new roof, new interior. Well, I mean, it'll be, for the most part, almost a new building, except for, some of the major exterior stuff. It'll be pretty much a brand new. So.
Question. You said they're just now putting on the new roof?
Yes, ma'am. So the roof and AC systems they all get budgeted through our facilities division.
Right.
So when the improvements were made, the roof and air conditioners were not part of that package.
So they got all the drywall and everything in?
Well,
Now we're gonna put on the roof?
yeah,
Wonder if it rained.
yeah, we're having issues with some of the phase one is why we're gonna move forward. Facilities decided to move forward, getting the roof in. So we have AC issues too. And so some of those units that are bad will be replaced as well, so.
Man.
All right. All right, don't forget your T-shirts. Thank you for coming today and
See you tomorrow morning.
I need a.
Tomorrow morning.
I make a motion, we
Okay.
Second it to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor? No, thank you. Have a great day.
thanks to Benedict.